In the morning, when I got up from a nice nap, a familiar voice came from downstairs. Matt and Leah sat side by side on the couch downstairs, formally dressed and looking formal and respectful. Leah's needy nervousness plays more of a vase role than Matt's. Matt was the first to say, "Mr. Gibson, I thought about today being the Mid-Autumn Festival, so I brought you a little gift. Check it out." Mr. Gibson smiled wistfully, "You're welcome." Matt couldn't read Mr. Gibson's expression, so he had to be direct. "Mr. Gibson, I'm here for that project on the west side of the city." "Mom and Dad, do we have guests in the house?" Without waiting for him to finish, I spoke up and interrupted him. Everyone subconsciously looked at me. The moment she saw me, Leah was so shocked that her voice changed tone. "Jane Wilson, what are you doing here?" Mr. Gibson frowned subconsciously, but remained motionless. "Jane is my daughter. Where is she not at home?" Looking at me again, he asked, "Jane, you guys know each other?" Leah's eyes widened in disbelief for a split second. "No way, that's impossible." Looking at Leah's exasperated look, I couldn't help but irritate her. "Why not? I was adopted by my parents back when I got lost. I'm a proper Gibson Group daughter now. Sis can try harder to try to catch up with me." Leah really can't be provoked. Her body trembled with anger. And she didn't care about the occasion, shouting angrily, "You deserve it too. You Jane Wilson are an unwanted drag, a stinker with no parents to love you. What gives you the right to be arrogant in front of me?" My face instantly grimaced. Mr. Gibson, too, grimaced, and instantly rose to his feet, his voice tinged with ill-concealed anger. "Shut up!" Mrs. Gibson, who had always been gentle, changed her countenance and drove the guests straight away. "Mr. Hemmings, is this a begging attitude? Please go back, we can't afford you Hemmings family." It took Matt a moment to react, immediately stopping Leah and apologizing in fear. "Mr. Gibson, I'm sorry, that's not what she meant. However, it is not possible to resist the pig teammates." Leah has not been able to distinguish the situation. Perhaps not willing to do so, and still screamed, "Matt, what are you stopping me for? I'm about to say that she, Leah, has been able to fake it since she was a little girl. She fakes it all. Don't let her fool you guys." Nicola, who appeared out of nowhere, suddenly appeared and said in a cold voice, "Okay, we understand Mr. Hemmings' attitude. Go back and tell your father that all of our cooperation stops." With a loud pop, Matt couldn't hold back and slapped Leah across the face. "Stop embarrassing yourself. I'll leave if you don't." As soon as Matt left, Leah had no face to stay, her eyes as vicious as quenched poison, and said defiantly, "Jane Wilson, what makes you so lucky all the time?" As soon as they left, I let out a sigh of relief and turned to the Gibson Group parents, embarrassed. "Mom and Dad, I'm sorry for the trouble." Mr. Gibson, Mrs. Gibson looked at each other and said heartily, "Jane, it's all in the family, no thanks. And don't listen to that crazy woman, you have someone to love." My heart warmed as a warm palm rested on my head and she rubbed my head naturally. Nicola laughed. "That's right, we've lived together for so many years, don't I know what kind of person you are?" What Gibson Group parents and Nicola aren't saying is that even if Jane really is in the wrong, so what? The Gibson Group is so high up that they can't protect her? That's how protective they are. The tragic memories evoked and the warmth of the present mingled with each other and cut apart. And I was surprised to impulsively say to Nicola, "There's one thing you can do for me."